Welcome to Interior Design Diaries. Today, I have the honor of talking to Kate and Claudia, longtime clients of mine, and we just finished their kitchen. So let's hear about pitfalls and peaks throughout the process. Okay, so today we're talking with Kate and Claudia, and I had the sheer pleasure of designing your home.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. I love you guys. Okay, so when did we meet? How many years ago was it?
11.
No, I think
12.
It's been more like 12 years.
What?
At least, Amelia wasn't around. 13.
Yeah, Amelia wasn't.
Uh-uh.
I mean, that's really how I time things, by my kids' ages.
Oh my gosh, you too. So we had purchased a home.
Yes, remember
and
that.
Amelia took his first steps in her home. And so we met you when he was almost 1 years old. So
And
he
at
was
that point, it
2012,
was a starter
20.
home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. And you just decided to do your kitchen.
Yes.
That's how I helped you.
Recently.
But I first started with consultation.
You did. And actually what ended up happening is, which I think I've told you the story of how I remember meeting you.
And I don't know.
You don't remember the story? Should we tell her?
Yes, tell me.
So what happened was I had called a ton of designers and no one was calling me back. And then 3 designers called me back and everybody wanted me to have a really big budget. Everybody said, give me $50,000, give me $30,000. And all I really wanted was, my criteria was someone local who knows California, who knows Costa Mesa, and also somebody who can work with our budget because we were first-time homeowners. We had a small budget. We had a young family.
You were new.
Different jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, this was back in 2014.
It was like eons ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I went online and I found you just by fluke. I was just kind of one thing led me to another. I looked at the HGTV website.
I thought it was Heather.
No. It was
My entire life. I have
Heather,
thought.
we said that was Heather, us introducing Heather, like you have to work with her. It was the reverse.
What a trip. Because I've known her since childhood.
Right.
That's why I thought the boys played and it was just that simple and you were in Mommy and Me or something.
No, it wasn't anything like that.
What a trip.
And it was so cool because when everybody called me back and people were just kind of short and not really being a good listener.
Yeah.
And you called me back and you listened to everything I said. You were repeating what I was saying. I was feeling heard and kind of loved on the phone.
Seen and valued.
Seen and valued. And you said, I can work with any budget.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, good, because all I need is help with paint and floor.
Right.
And that's kind of where we started. You helped me with the flooring, which by the way, we still have the same exact floor.
Right.
We've had no issues with it. We have hardwood in our closets, in our hallways, in our everywhere. It's lovely. It's beautiful.
And
it's gorgeous.
Traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I love the dark floors with the white everywhere. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Yes. A lot of consultation.
Yes.
Hours, kind of giving you guidance about what you should do. And you didn't want to pull the trigger and be wrong or have any costly mistakes. And I think that's the value, right? There's a lot to be said for that.
Mm-hmm.
Just the second guessing, the rumination. Was that a word? How do you say that word?
Ruminate?
Ruminate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, ruminate. Yes.
When you just ruminate, you're up at night going down the rabbit hole, like Pinterest, all the things. There's so many things you could be just like, well, what about this white? What about this white? I mean, how many shades of white are there? Really?
Yes. And when I pick stuff, I end up making mistakes. I end up having to do it twice. And then I just think, why don't I just call Lindsay to help me out with this?
It's time and money.
Mm-hmm.
So you value that.
Yes.
I try to tell everyone that. Like, you don't go to the dental hygienist, you go to the dentist. You do, I hope.
Right.
You don't have the paralegal fight your legal battles. You have the lawyer. You don't have, you value people's opinion and expertise.
Exactly.
And you are willing to pay for that, right?
That's
to get
right.
what you're wanting.
That is absolutely right. And actually, I have to go back to the meeting you story.
Yeah.
So I was going on that HGTV rabbit hole.
That was
and
whole
then
other world of
I
mine.
saw you. This is how I found you. I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have an HGTV star here in Costa Mesa. I have to call her. Hopefully she's not going to be a snob, which you weren't. We're still here over 10 years later. Yeah, 12 years later. And I saw that Showdown show.
Showhouse Showdown.
Show
Oh,
how,
yeah.
man, say that 10 times really fast.
Show how, shut on. Show how, shut on. I had to wear the same outfit for 5 days, like, because it only happened in a weekend, but we redid the entire house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
God,
I saw
yeah.
you there. And of course, I was telling everybody, yes, Lindsay Olson helped me do my home. And she is an HGTV star. She helped me pick my floors and my paint color. So, of course, I had the whole neighborhood coming in to see that. And
You're so sweet.
little did I ever know that you would be helping us 12 years later to work on this massive project.
Right.
I consider massive.
So I know that we talked about it in our initial conversations of the kitchen just always felt a little bit like, oh, how do I move around in it? It didn't feel right for you guys, but it was always something you were wanting to do. So when you were ready, it was great. We were all ready, like excited to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So explain the process a little bit.
The process of
The kitchen.
what inspired us to get there, or
Well, I think one of the first things that happened was you had told us in the very beginning, stay with the stuff that you have until it wears out. So we had the old stove from
22 years ago from
Yeah.
the original house build.
I think we were down to one burner. The oven was like occasionally would click on. So that started going. And then the look was really wrong. Our family was growing. We
Mhm.
wanted a space for our son to be able to play with friends and kind of gather. So many things were changing. And it really was at that time, I think and we weren't going to find something else.
Right. You had made the decision to stay.
Stay.
And
At
that's
least
always the
until he-
question, right?
Yep.
Do we stay or do we go? What do we do? Yeah. Do we put money in? Are we going to get it out? All those things.
Right.
Yeah. Lots of big questions and a big price tag.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is more clarity in life, really, at that moment.
That's true.
We had just a lot more clarity. When we bought, we had no idea what we were doing. Our careers have changed. Our family size has changed.
Mhm.
Our kids now integrated into the community. He wants to stay.
Mhm.
So, and the pricing market went so high, so fast that we would look at different home options and we're like, do we really want to get into a huge payment? Do we really want, we wanted a new, like a bigger, the bigger yard, have a pool, all that stuff. But we figured we would land and invest. And that was one of the conversations I remember with you. What you put in, you'll gain 2 to 3 times the value of what you invested.
Mhm.
And so that was a huge call for me. It was like, well, we could do this.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. And we made the choice. It was a difficult choice because we really thought it was going to be the starter home.
Mhm.
But then we thought, treat it. I just kept replaying that message that you shared with us, which is treat this like a boathouse. It's it's like a
Yeah.
stamp size home, but you can really make it beautiful. You can customize it and you can start one space at a time. And that's kind of what we
Yeah.
decided to just go all in
Right.
and start with the kitchen majorly.
So I think we called you.
Yeah.
We set up the initial conversation where design plans,
Mhm.
and you gave us 4 options.
Yeah, that was in October, November of
Yep.
the previous year.
Yep.
Last year, yeah.
Mhm.
And then what was amazing about that was it went from very
I was trying to have a poker face when you were showing us options, by the way. I was trying not to be
You're
so
like,
excited.
don't
but
show her. Don't show
I
her.
was like, don't show her which one. Yes, go ahead.
Well, and that's our personalities, because I remember going to you, which is yours? Like, which
Yeah.
pick is yours? Is it
Mhm.
really number one?
Mhm.
Because
Wait, are you talking about Lindsay's pick or my pick?
no, because you were clear on your pick. I wanted your pick.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, what do you really want here? So it was the variations were moving walls, moving doors, closing walls, or gutting.
Little island for 2 seats.
Mhm.
Bigger
Mm.
island.
Right, a back corner.
Did you ever think you could get 4 options out of your space?
No,
Right.
I was so impressed.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like that's what you're paying for, out of the box thinking in your footprint
And
Right.
all
Yeah.
that experience, it just
and seeing it
showed up.
differently. I mean,
Mhm.
I walk into your house and it's fresh, even over the times, because you've had me intermittently.
Yes.
But each time I go, I'm like, oh, I see something a little bit differently. Or then I notice, okay, you're at this life stage. He's out of the house more now. He's at school. Okay, now he's at sports more.
Right.
Now he's out of the house. Like you're getting to he's out of the house and he's back at 9 and in bed and rinse and repeat.
I already have plans for
or
that bedroom.
he's in the house, or he's in the house and we need space.
Right.
We can't just
and
be
he
a
needs
family.
his own.
Right.
Sorry.
I
didn't
think
mean
one
to
time we
interrupt you.
sat in the we were in the garage sitting by the washing machine talking so he could have
This
space.
is,
And I
this
was
is
like,
before you started with the design.
yeah, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I remember you looked at
yeah.
me and you're like, we're talking in the garage.
In the
Like,
garage.
because
And the
his
kid
friends
has
were-
the house.
Yeah, because his friends were in there and we didn't want to be in his space,
Right. We were protecting their privacy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so four floor plans.
Yes.
You picked.
Who picked?
We picked. You picked.
Yes.
We all picked together.
I thought it was
Yeah.
a question.
I think it was unanimous, to be quite honest.
Mhm.
But I think
I
you,
think so.
yeah,
And the only
with some slight modifications.
Did we have modifications?
I'm only thinking of the
Table or no table.
Yep.
That was it.
and that was Emilio.
And that was usable. I mean, like flexible. So it wasn't built in. So it was kind of like, okay, well, let's wait and see.
Right.
Yeah.
So when he said what was important was dinner every night, that we keep that. And then we're like, oh, but we can just move it. And you're like, oh, it doesn't work in the design because the hangers, but yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only modification.
What's really cool about your space is that you have this long island and you have the table attached to it. So
Yes.
it feels like one giant place together.
It does.
And it feels good.
It
in the
feels
space.
great. It really does. I mean, I actually like to walk to the other side where the stove and the refrigerator and the pantry used to be, because now that's like the walking path to the other side.
Mhm.
And so I actually intentionally go around that way. And I'm like, oh, it feels so good to just walk where my
All
stove
the
used
way
to
around.
be.
I know.
Yes.
Yes. Remember that?
Yeah. I mean, there's not one morning that I don't walk downstairs and just stare at the kitchen, because
It's
is
beautiful.
stunning.
It really is.
And it's perfectly suits us too.
Well, I think that one of the other decisions that we didn't talk about was having friends over. So in our old space, we wouldn't. Remember that? Like we would never have anybody come over just because it was like, it wasn't comfortable to sit. There was nowhere for people to sit. If you sat, you were divided. And so
It was awkward too.
it was awkward
Yeah,
and
the
felt
kitchen off
dusty
to
and
the
old.
side was just a poor choice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean,
Yeah. It was like a cave. You walked into the living room, the kitchen was tucked in.
So one of the kind of joys that we discovered is that low table helps with that community when people are over, so people can sit at the bar and then we can hang out at the table and sit and have more of a conversation. So it really, not only did it drive like the family dinner time, so the coziness of that, but then also for friends over, it's so casual. It feels perfectly set.
It does feel perfectly set. And not to mention, now I have a proper area to prepare my food. I
Mhm.
have
your triangle.
I
Your
have-
working triangle.
4 working burners, because my old stove, only one of them was working.
Now you can really
The
cook.
oven didn't really work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible. And then there's this island. So
It's so great.
it
So
really
great.
is.
So then from choice, then we are we picking contractors at this point? I think we are. Right?
I
We
think
picked the
so.
design choice. Oh, and then we had conversations around, we did the personality assessment, like each independently. What do you like? What are you drawn to?
What do you want?
What do you want?
And are you aligned about it?
Right.
That's the biggest question. Once you fill that lifestyle questionnaire, it's like, oh, wait, you wanted this? I didn't know you wanted this. Oh, I wanted this. Oh, I didn't even know you cared about that. Like, did you learn about each other a little bit? And how
Or
do you use
even
the space?
self. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I had no idea I liked clean lines. I had no idea I didn't want clutter. I had no idea I wanted this.
Right.
So I feel like I know what it's going to be, but I feel like it was more of self-discovery. I was like,
You
oh,
can't hear the eye rolling that just happened.
I saw it.
right. It's true though.
Well, I learned that you like the color white.
That's exciting.
I thought you liked blue or black. I mean,
Well, it's
Well, you
interesting
gave
what
it.
you learn about
Mhm.
each other and yourself.
Yep.
And then you have to put it on paper and it's like, oh God. Right?
yeah. But you know what? We actually were on a road trip when we were doing it.
No,
So
you
it
were
worked out
not.
perfectly. We were in the car and I was asking the questions and I was typing it in. It was
So-
perfect.
So great. Okay. The great thing about us doing this kitchen was that you understood that I'm in it for you. Like I'm on your side, I'm on your team. And like, you got to tell me exactly what you're thinking because I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm thinking. And then we're not going to let them tell us things or take advantage or have a situation where you're getting screwed. I mean,
so true.
there's a million stories that you hear about,
and the contractor buzz too. I think that was another walkaway. I was like one contractor when we worked independently, then they started pitting against that whole contractor piece is, I mean, if I had to do it over again, would I have stepped outside and gone, I don't know.
That was one big lesson for me. I think that if someone's working with you on a project, my advice is stick to all your recommendations, all of the people that you work with, all the trades just under that umbrella, because even though I knew the cabinet people, they were highly recommended. It was actually my mom's roommate from decades ago, and he owned this company, and he had retired and passed it along to these individuals, and they wanted to do this for me.
Right.
Which they did. I mean, the
everyone had the best of intentions.
It is,
right.
Of course. Gorgeous. But, just the process of delays and everything that just from those individuals really delayed the project.
Right.
And I remember
dishonesty.
Yeah.
Right.
Really, that was the part that was hard too. It just so dishonest because they would talk to you guys. It'd be one story. They would talk to me. It'd be another story. Talk to Claudia. It's another story. So that whole, I feel like that just delayed so much of it.
But then, anytime, and I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I loved it whenever there was any issues with, and it wasn't even issues. It was just one little tiny thing that needed to be fixed or changed with your trades. Mm-hmm. And I would text you or call you or anything, and people would be at the door in like 15, 20 minutes.
They would be there in that day.
And it would be fixed. I mean, same day.
The truth is they would be there in that day. And if you work anywhere else for anything else, it's like, oh, I can get there next week, or I could get there. And it never was like that with your people.
Yeah. So that is a good tip for everyone to hear, because a lot of people want to use their own people. And I try to tell them it's just going to work smoother. It's just a lot easier for you. But I'm happy to. It's just there's unknowns that come up when I have never worked with someone.
Right.
And there's just, it creates a little bit of, but sometimes I work with people and they're great and it's fine. So it's just hit or miss. And you never know. There might have been, we always say it's not me, it's you. And whatever they're going through is not about you. They've got their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, who knows? Things always happen, but to have a smooth process, it's best to just, like you said, in-house.
Yes.
All under me.
Yes.
Because then you could just have one point of contact. And I think that's super important.
Well, and I think when we worked outside too, they would sow doubt in what we were working on. And that that was frustrating, because then we'd come back to you and then we'd walk through it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay, this is why we're doing that. Or this is part of the design, or whatever it was. And I think there's such an emotional toll to doing all of that work in your house, having people in your space, so many hours of the day, having things unfinished, working out of your bathroom or in the backyard, cooking on grills. Like all of that is so stressful, and you're still working in everything. And then to have them sow doubt in the middle of it, you're just like, your capacity is only so much.
Right.
And that was really difficult.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we've talked, all of that is completely behind us. And I actually would do this all over again.
Yeah.
Because the end result, only 6 months of a little bit of chaos.
Right. Looking back, it's like, oh, it's just a little speck.
Exactly.
Right.
In the whole scheme of things.
Right.
I mean, she's become a cocktail master over here.
Oh, you have a bar?
There's a bar.
Do you love it?
I love it.
Do you use it all the time?
Well, I don't know if I should say that, but it's a frequent
7 days a week, everybody.
Okay. So are you entertaining? Are you
Yes.
having people over?
Yes. I mean, even this morning I woke up and it's been months. We're settled in the space. And this morning I was thinking, it's Friday. Why aren't we having anyone over tonight? I want to show off my new space.
Right.
I feel so great about
Does
this.
the food taste better?
Yes.
Yes.
The food
You know what?
tastes
The
better.
cleanup is quick.
Is it quick?
And I don't know why that is, but it's like,
I think it's all right there.
it's
I mean,
instantaneous.
we plan that where you're putting everything so you would know where to go.
You did. Not
But
only
just
that,
even the wipe down.
you said when you clean up, all you have to do is just wipe it down onto the sink.
Wipe
And
it in.
I do that.
Yeah.
Just drop it in.
How are the plants? Staying
Perfect.
alive?
I sort of killed one of them because
That's okay.
I overwatered it. But
Well, I usually don't water them. I'm like, oh, they need food. Oh,
they were a little limpy.
Thank God my 3 children are still alive.
But they're just beautiful, and I just love going to the flower shop. I look forward to buying kitchen stuff just for fun and
it was so funny. You're like, well, we did this whole kitchen. What do I use? I need a dish towel. I need my cooking utensil. Like, where am I putting anything? So then we did
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
When you gave us, we sent Emilio off to his friend's house and we repictured, remember that with the pencil? Went through where would you want things? Because we had the drawing of what the kitchen looked like. And then it was like, well, empty everything you have and where's it going to go? That was not a fun project.
No.
For me. I actually didn't enjoy that.
It was super fun for me. Oh my gosh.
Figured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But necessary.
Pinterest.
So
Instagram.
necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And we gutted a lot of just junk that we've
Stuff
had.
you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
You have it in boxes. It's waiting for like no reason to come out at another day.
Right.
Yeah. So that was part of the I guess we missed some key milestones. So
that was one.
The organization project.
Yeah. The elevations.
Mm-hmm. Elevations.
Oh, elevations. Yeah.
Yeah. Step 1 was mood boards. Step 2 is aesthetic. I kind of did that together a little bit for you.
Okay.
And then elevations. And that's when you got to decide where everything was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
You knew where your mixer and your platter and your, vases are going to be. Because those are the weird things that you never have room for. Or they're like cookie sheets and oblong trays and, the thing you pull out once or twice a year. Like you need to know where you're going to store all that.
Or big items.
Yeah, the big items. It's huge.
Too.
Yeah, tamale makers.
The other fun thing is because
Yeah.
we had the elevations, we purchased the accessories quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, we ordered that stuff early. It was in the garage ready to go. So each time those boxes would arrive, it would be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You'd hit a lull because have the plastic tarp up and you're cooking on a hot plate. But then
out in the yard.
Are you
by
cooking or is she cooking?
Me. Yeah, she's talking by the hose.
It was pretty. But then like the knobs would show up for the drawers. And then you'd be like, oh, this is why we're this is why we're doing it.
Okay, so best memory of doing the kitchen.
So the positive memory is when you came back after things were done and you accessorized. Is that even the proper term?
I mean, there's so many different terms for it. Yes, home styling.
Oh,
styling
you
the
home
room.
styled.
Yeah.
And wow, I mean,
it takes it from like, okay, we did our kitchen, it's beautiful, staring at the appliances, like all the things, to like, oh.
Well, and people have commented, when our friends have come over and they're like, especially those the on top of the counter,
planter.
Those planters. Those are big. But then you just sit for a second and you'll see the vase in the corner or whatever it is. And that really elevated it.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, don't put anything else on my counter.
That's right.
Right?
That's
like
true.
Clean it up. Make it look pretty. You
Right.
spend all this time and energy.
Yeah.
Make it look good all the time. I mean, it's magazine worthy. It really is. So pretty.
Thank you.
Thanks for chatting, you guys. Taking
Thank
the
you.
time and sharing space.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to find more about me or my services, check out my website at luludesigns.com.